It is time to expand minds through movies, TV, sports, and flicks. It is time to boldly go where no podcast has gone before. It is time for the Captain Talks Flicks.
The Captain Talk Flicks.
Welcome to the Captain Talks Flicks podcast. I'm your host, the Captain Cortez, aka Mr. Love, and this is where we talk flicks. I welcome the podcast where me, the Captain, talks about movies, TV, sports, flicks, anything you can see on the two-bird screen. I like to get in here and give my unique perspective, because after 48 years of being on planet Earth, I've developed a new perspective about these movies, TV, sports, and flicks, and I'll let you tell about it. Because just maybe you care. And according to the stats, it looks like you do care. I want to give a big shout out to Spain. Got some plays over in Spain this past week. Gracias, gratitude, todo about. And Spain, I've been seeing you guys a lot, bro. A whole lot in the last week. Spain just kept coming up. So you know what? Maybe when I retire, I might have to retire to Spain. Because I've been studying Spanish. Been studying Espanol, bro. En la escuela, studying Espanol. Mucho studying, bro. Doing a lot. So maybe when I retire, I'll have to go over to Spain, bro. Check it out. We'll see how it goes. But thanks for listening. Gracias, gratitude. And just FYI, back there was good radio DJ, but never got a job. I think I never got a job because I just never spoke Espanol. If I would have hablado more Espanol, then maybe that would enable me to become a radio DJ. But I didn't. That's what allowed me to become the greatest podcast in the Matrix. Something to debate. Might be true, but not be true. But I said it on the internet. So it's got to be true, right? Because everything on the internet is facts, not facts, true, false, propaganda, fake news, the Matrix, trees, grass, sand, beach, la playa. I don't know. I didn't make the internet. Ask the people that made the internet. So when you're online, just be aware, just watch out. Anyways, can ramble all day, but it won't. Let's get right to the podcast. But first, a word from our sponsor. Ladies and gentlemen, do you like rap? Well, if you do, recording artist Sunzu Cosmic and recording artist Gotcha Man teamed up on a track called Disturbance. So if you want to hear the dope lyricist Gotcha Man and the spitter of cosmic raps, Sunzu Cosmic, team up on a dope track with a crazy beat produced by me, the Captain Cortez, you should check this track out. It is absolutely craziness, absolutely cool. I'll put the link below to the track called Disturbance by Gotcha Man and Sunzu Cosmic. I've known Gotcha Man for a long time. His writing is superb. Not only can he write raps, he can write stories and books and all that too. So check it out. I'll put the link below. Now, let's get on the podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, I am back again. And ladies and gentlemen, right now I'm recording this on a Friday, and this goes live on a Sunday. So I'm recording this a couple days early. And word is, where I'm at, up in Michigan, the United States of America, we are supposed to get a storm. A pretty fierce storm. That's what they're saying. Saying the storm is supposed to be fierce. Fierce storm, bro. It's coming. So you know what? The captain went out this morning, got his groceries, got his food, got water. I'm about to just hold up in the casa, bro. I ain't going nowhere, bro. I'm going to ride this storm out like REO Speedwagon says. Because a storm is coming. Now, it could be bad or it might not. Check the news, bro. Look at the news feed. If you're hearing this on Sunday, just look up Michigan real quick and you can see if we got that snow. We might. Who knows? You never know in Michigan. In the state of Michigan, you don't know what you're going to get. Right now, it's cold and stormy. It could be sunny and hot like 5 hours later. It's absolute craziness. Anyway, the storm is coming. I'm prepping. I got a shovel ready. I got salt ready. I got my warm winter gear ready. I got my hat, got my boots, got my socks. Because I'm going to go to war with a storm, bro. So anyways, yeah, we've got a storm coming. It's, but in Michigan, this is what happens. This is the life in Michigan. Some days it's a storm, some days it's raining, sometimes it's snowing, sometimes it's hot. It's absolute madness in this place, and I love it. You should come visit. It's a great place to visit. So anyways, that's what's going down in the Captain's world. But now, it is time to podcast. And ladies and gentlemen, I got to see a movie from back in the day. We're talking the year 2000. Y2K, bro. Remember Y2K? You might be too young to remember Y2K. Well, I'm old enough. I lived through Y2K. It was absolute madness. It was a crazy time in the captain's life, bro. 99, 2000, 2001, 2002. It was absolute madness. But I'm still here. Fortunately, I made it through. So anyways, the movie I saw came out in 2000. And what's weird is I've been aware of this movie for so long, I just never seen it. So I got to see it this week. And I'm talking about the movie called Sexy Beast. And what made me watch it is that there's a prequel series coming up in a couple weeks over at Paramount. And I was like, before I watch this prequel, I probably should watch the original movie to see what it's all about. And ladies and gentlemen, it was absolute craziness. Now, before I get into that, a couple things. First of all, there will be spoilers. And second of all, I do own some shares in the parent company of Paramount Plus. I just want to be clear and transparent to let you know that I told you that. Let's get into Sexy Beast. So let me just start off by saying this. This movie was absolute madness. There's no other way to describe it. And when I say absolute madness, I mean that in the best way possible. I mean unpredictable, I mean exciting, I mean fresh, new, I mean action-packed. When I say madness, it just means really good to me. That's what I mean by that. So I throw that term around a lot because I've been seeing a lot of good stuff. And this movie's from 2000. And like I said in the podcast, A Fair Game, like stuff from back in those days are just a lot different than how they make things now. And just being so used to the current stuff, it was just so different and so fresh and so crazy. So anyways, in the movie, we got this character named Gal, and he's up in Spain, living on a villa, chilling, lounging, relaxing, living a good life. Sitting poolside, almost getting hit by boulders, sipping drinks with a sexy wife who used to be a porn star, right? He's just chilling. And then some guy calls, talking about, bro, I need you to come back to England, bro. I'm coming over there to see you so I can talk to you about it. And so this guy shows up named Don. And basically Don sits down and was like, bro, you got to come back to England and do this. And so that's what happens. Gal ends up going to England, and that's the whole movie. Now, what I want to do though is I want to get into a couple things about the movie I found interesting, like I always do. The first thing I want to talk about is that in the movie, the character Don, played by the wonderful, awesome Ben Kingsley, in the movie, has a scene where he's in the mirror and he's talking in the mirror, talking to himself in the mirror. And when I seen that scene, it was absolutely magnificent. And let me tell you why I love that scene so much. Because yours truly, the captain, does that, right? I've talked about it on the podcast before, but today I'm gonna go deep. So, the scene you seen in this movie with the character Don talking in the mirror is something I do on a regular basis. And I found it so interesting because it was interesting to see someone else do that. Like I said, I do it all the time. Now let me explain it a little bit. So I like to take time to think about stuff. I've talked about it on the podcast a lot. I talk about how I like to just sit around and think about ideas. I've talked about it multiple times because I do it a lot. And the method for me doing that is basically I will stand in front of the mirror and I will talk to myself similarly the way that Ben Kingsley, the character Don, does in the movie. Now, he does it in a different fashion I do it, but I basically do that to explore different ideas. I look at myself in the mirror, I throw ideas out, and, I kind of ask questions, I answer them, and just explore all types of different ways of thinking and perspectives and ideologies and beliefs and practices and habits and past, future, present. Like, I go deep down the rabbit hole, and I do that regularly all the time. And to be honest, I got that from Bill Gates. Say what you want about Bill Gates. Maybe you like it, maybe you don't. But it is said that he takes a week off just to think. So basically, I take time to think. And my method for thinking is, doing the mirror work, working in the mirror. But what I found interesting about this movie is to see somebody else talking to themselves in the mirror. And to be completely honest, it looks a little crazy. It looks a little crazy, bro. It just looks a little crazy. But I do this like regularly. So you might have already thought the captain's crazy. You might have thought that. Well, guess what? You might have thought a little more crazy because I do that. Now, additionally, I do recommend the practice of doing it. I feel that if you're trying to plot your life, if you're trying to get to new ways of thinking, new ways of handling problems that come up, new ways of building relationships, anything that you're trying to achieve or improve in your lifestyle, I feel if you sit and talk it out with yourself and just go down the rabbit hole of thoughts in the mirror to yourself, you will gain more ground, new ways of thinking about things, new solutions to problems. It has worked for me. I have been able to explore different things again in my life through that method. Now, if you do this, you will feel a little weird at first. Because when I first started doing it, I did feel a little weird. And I'll be honest, seeing Ben Kingsley in the movie doing that made me feel a little weird again. Because I'm like, bro, I do that. That's the first thing I thought of when I saw the scene. I was like, I do that regularly. And it does look a little crazy when you see someone else do it. Nobody has seen me doing this. And I'll be honest, after seeing this movie, I probably will not let anybody see me do that because it does look a little crazy. But like I said earlier, it does help me get to new places with thought and thinking. So maybe try it. Like I said, it may feel a little weird at first. You probably feel a lot of weird at first. But if you do it over time and explore your mind, explore your thoughts, you will probably find new ways of doing things to better and enhance your life. I believe you might. You might not. I don't know. You might think it's crazy. You might do it a couple times and say, I can't do this. This is crazy. It is a little crazy. But sometimes you have to walk the line of madness to become the baddest. I say that quote all the time, and part of it's true. Sometimes to get to new spaces, new places, you got to get a little crazy. And in this movie, Sexy Beast, you see the character Don, played by Ben Kingsley, get a little crazy, and he does seem to get to different places. So yeah, that was interesting about the movie. A second thing in the movie I thought was interesting was that Don comes to Gal's villa to tell him to come back to London so they can do a job. And then like Gal's like, no, bro, I ain't doing it. And Don's like, yes, you are. And they go through this whole cycle of no, yes for a while. And so what I thought was interesting about that is that I don't know where you're in your life right now, but chances are if you're a little older, you may have been around people, groups that you're no longer around now. And maybe the way of thinking, the lifestyle, their beliefs, what they practice was aligned with you at one point in time. But as you move down the life path, you have found new ways of being, new ways of living, new ways of moving through the timeline. And those old groups and beliefs and people just don't align with your current reality. So you may have moved away from that. But sometimes in life, bro, the old people come say, hey, bro, come on, come hang out, come do this, come back and visit, right? The old lifestyle, the old peeps that maybe you've kind of moved away from. And now, you're not better, you're not above. It's just that you've shifted to a different way of being. And the old lifestyle is just not aligned with your current way of being. And this is what happens in this movie. Gal, living in the villa with his sexy porn star wife and his friends out his villa in Spain, gets a visit from his old life. Talking about, come on back, come work with us. And he has to say, nah, bro, I ain't doing it. I ain't going back, I'm here doing this. But unfortunately in the movie, the circumstances are that he does have to go back because things didn't go as planned. And I'm not gonna really reveal what that is. You have to watch the movie to figure that out. But he has to kind of go back. But ultimately, he was like, no at first. Now, in your life, you may be in a certain place, certain space, and you may have moved, evolved, shifted to a place that is different than where you used to be. And sometimes on that path, the old lifestyle will call you back. The old habits, the old ways of thinking. Now, it doesn't even have to necessarily be another human being. It could be just your mind is trying to take you back to old habits that you used to do that were not fulfilling or leveling you up. It could just be your own mind, or it could be a person, or it could be a group, or it could be an organization, or it could be something that's trying to pull you back to where you were, and yet you've shifted from that to move to something different, something better for yourself. So when that time comes, if it does happen to you, are you going to be in the mind state enough to say, no, bro, this is not for me no more. I'm living like this. I'm doing this. This is what I practice. My lifestyle. This is how I am. I don't live like that no more. It's not how I move. It's not how I operate. I'm here. And sometimes you got to put your foot down and say, bro, no. And sometimes you got to cut people off, bro. Sometimes you got to cut things off. Sometimes you got to cut places off, people off, things off, beliefs off, groups off, organizations off. Sometimes that's necessary. Not always, but sometimes it is. Are you willing to do that? Because Gal in the movie was. Gal in his villa in Spain said, bro, nah, I ain't going back. I'm here. I ain't going back there. He said, we ain't doing that. are you going to do that in your life? So yeah, I love that about the movie. There's a nice lesson there too. So there's way more in this movie I want to talk about. This movie had so many different scenes, aspect, themes in it. There's a bunch of other things I want to talk about. I'm just running out of time. But it's a very good movie. I can't believe it took me this long to see it. I'm very interested to see what this TV show is going to be looking like. So I think the TV show comes out in a couple weeks. I will be talking about the TV show of the podcast. I'm going to do all the episodes. So after seeing the movie and really loving it, oh, it's crazy, it's weird, it's exciting, mind-provoking, thought-provoking. Can't wait to see what they do with the TV show. So if somehow you have not seen Sexy Beast, I highly recommend you go check it out because it is absolute madness. So yeah, that concludes the podcast. And until next time, we'll see you. Be brave enough to live creatively, the creative place where no one else has ever been. Alan Alda. Until next time, it's Captain Beast.
The Captain Talks Flicks.